Hello, my friends. This is Denise with Modern Priscilla Tarot. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, a big special welcome to you. All right, so this is Pick a Card, and today's question is, why are they ignoring me? We're going to jump right in, but before we do, I want to remind you to please drop a comment. I would love to hear what you think after you view your reading. And if you haven't already, please make sure to go ahead and hit subscribe so you never miss out. And it also helps me out a lot. So thank you so much in advance. All right, so let's get started. What I have here, I have the Wizard's Tarot, I have the In-Between Tarot, and I have the Steampunk Tarot. I also have a stone set out on each deck. We have hematite, we have clear quartz, and we have carnelian. What I'm going to do, I'm going to live shuffle, and then I will set out 3 piles. At that time, I will ask you to select your pile, and I will put timestamps in the description so that way you can jump around and fast forward to your pile. All right. With that said, let's get going. Alrighty, here we are. We have our 3 piles set out. We have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is calm your mind. Think of the question, why are they ignoring me? See where your attention is drawn and select your pile. If you need extra time, please feel free to pause the video. And let's get started. Pile number 1. All right, pile 1. Let's see what we can find out. Why are they ignoring you? Why are they ignoring you? I'll tell you why. Because they think you are interested in somebody else, or that you have other people that you are looking at in some way. It could be romantic, meaning you have somebody else that you're interested in that way, or it could mean that they kind of feel like you've got a lot going on and you know, maybe a lot of friends around. Could be, again, like I said, romantic, but again, it doesn't have to be romantic necessarily. So let's find out. Let's dig in a little deeper. This card here, this serves as my energy card, and we have the Sun. This is the strongest energy that the cards are picking up on, and it will serve as kind of like a clarifier for each of our other cards in our spread. We have the Sun as our energy card. So this overarching energy is talking about somebody who's just really happy, somebody who, you know, has a lot of fun and success and happiness and carefreeness, you know, in their life. This person thinks that you are potentially just going about your life, skipping through in the sun and not maybe interested in this person, that your life is potentially already full in some way. So they're kind of feeling, I think, that you're just kind of in your little bubble of sunshine, and that, you know, you're doing well. Here we have our 9 of Cups. This is confirmed more here. The 9 of Cups says, I am happy in my personal relationships. I have a lot to choose from. Look at this guy leaning back in his chair, looking up at all of our cups. Cups are the suit of love and emotion, feelings, emotions, like I said. So this would be a love situation or a friendship situation where those warm, fuzzy feelings are, you know. This is saying you have personal satisfaction in your relationship, and you probably have multiple people to choose from. Now, again, if you're feeling like absolutely not, this is not true, well, they think it is for whatever reason. They see you as that. They think that, you are potentially with other people or more interested. Now, if this is a situation where you were already talking and then all of a sudden they just stopped answering, it looks like they think that you are potentially interested in somebody else, even though you might be expressing your desire to be together. That's not what they're getting. Do you understand what I mean? Okay, so next we have the Five of Pentacles, and this is where I'm getting that they believe that, they're being shut out for some reason. The Five of Pentacles, look at her. This little witch is running by. There's the big castle. It's snowing and all this crazy weather, and she can't go into that house, right? So it's, again, feeling like they're being kept out or that they will be shut up. Maybe they're worried you're going to hurt them in the end. Maybe they feel that you will be easily drawn to somebody else. Maybe they feel that they won't be important because you've got a lot of people in your life. I'm not sure which applies, but that's what this is saying. Next, we have our Knight of Pentacles. Now, knights are moving forward. All the knights are usually like running. You can see their hair running, blowing in the wind. They're going fast. Our Knight of Pentacles, while he is moving, he's going slow. He's taking his time because he wants to plan. He wants to, make sure that he doesn't take a misstep. So a very thoughtful type of person. Now, court cards typically represent personality types. Not always, but typically. So this one popping up for this question tells me that this person who's ignoring you is going slowly because they're trying to evaluate everything. Remember, like I said, I think what they're feeling is that for some reason, while you might be real into them and they might realize that you're into them on the surface, they feel like at some point, you aren't going to be fully on board. Whether that means fully invested in a relationship because you've got other things going on in your life, or because potentially you're seeing other people or you would be drawn to other people easily, you see? So what this person is going to do is take their time. They're going to be watching. They're going to be moving slowly and taking in all the clues, all the information, and deciding kind of how they want to move forward. So that is very clear. Let's get another one, though. We need to get our outcome card. This is the middle of the deck. This is the energy of the outcome. Let's see if we can get a little more. All right. So this is the cut card. Ready? Boom. Two of Wands. Okay. Again, they think you're struggling. They think there's somebody else in there. Our Two of Wands talks about kind of deciding between two things in your mind, like kind of being unsure and unable to decide. It's kind of like battling between two things, in your mind, is in terms of how to act or how to move forward. This person thinks that you have other priorities. This person thinks you have other priorities. Now, whether that priority is another person or something else in your life, that's up to you to decide. But I'm not getting a real strong, yes, it's because you have another person. But it could be included in this. But again, I'm not getting like that slam dunk. So I think that means it could involve friendship as well. Just other things in your mind. Remember, you are the sun. This is our primary energy. The sun energy is all about happiness, optimism, hope, that kind of a thing. And look at her, carefree little witch there. Or a wizard, I should say, on the horse running around. Doesn't that look fun and carefree? That's what they're seeing. And the outcome is they're still deciding. So it looks like this might go on for a little longer. Remember, our Knight is moving slowly. And this person is kind of thinking so they're not done. They haven't said, I'm closing the door, but they're still trying to kind of work it out and move slowly. So we'll see kind of what the energy does. And we might want to check back in on this because I think the jury is still out, meaning they haven't made up their mind yet. But this is the cause. That's what they're feeling. They are being very thoughtful about how they move forward and not wanting to take a misstep or, do the wrong thing, I guess. So they're debating it. They're debating it. They're thinking about it. They're trying to weigh it out. So it might be a bit longer still where you might not be hearing things. But I do think that, it's still open-ended. We're not sure what the decision will be. But that's why they're ignoring you. Ooh, pile one. This was pretty clear, huh? All right. Well, please drop a comment. I'd love to know what you think. Does this make sense? What are you thinking? Let me know. And of course, before you head out, please make sure you hit subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I want to thank you for letting me read for you. Pile number 2. All right, pile 2. Let us see what you've got here. Why are they ignoring you? Why are they ignoring you? Well, I can see that they're ignoring you. That's kind of stating the obvious, right? I can see it here. First off, this card here serves as my energy card. This is the strongest energy that the tarot is picking up on, so it will affect each of our other cards. What we have here for your energy is the moon. The moon, it talks about a little bit of mystery, feeling like things are unknown, kind of feeling like, well, that moving forward, not a fearful thing. That's where I'm kind of tripping on my words. It's not a fearful thing, like I am afraid to move forward. It talks about the unknown. I think that this person is kind of feeling like, I don't have maybe this person does not have a real strong feeling of a yes or a no about you. Meaning, what we're going to do going forward. Are we going to connect? Are we going to reconnect? Whatever your situation is. Feeling like I'm unclear as to how you are feeling, and I'm going to keep moving forward and see how it plays out, kind of thing. That doesn't answer the question, though, because seeing how it plays out, if they are ignoring you, well, how is it going to play out? There's no way for it to play out, right? So let's see what these are. But this is coming through strong because it is our energy card. Now, here's where they're not talking. This is the Hermit. And as you can see, our Hermit is all by himself. This talks about needing some space, needing some time, literally talks about taking a step back from things. What does that sound like? Ignoring you. Now, I don't think that, the word ignoring has a very strong connotation, almost like in a negative thing, right? In this card, what I'm going to say is that this is not necessarily like a negative thing. This is somebody saying, all right, I don't know that they're super invested in me anyway, so I'm just going to take a step back. This is something, again, very literally says needing space and time, taking a step back from situations. Exactly what the question is. I see it. All right, here we have our 3 of Cups. Now, this talks about wanting to start something new, but also not being super in a hurry. Knowing that there are options there, but not really feeling that pressure or that spark, that something needs to happen. This person is does not have their foot on the gas about relationships. Again, I do feel like they're waiting to see just how it plays out. Well, let's keep going because we need to know how it plays out or how it's going to play out in terms of what you can do to help it play out, right? So let's see. We've got our 3 of Coins here. The 3 of Coins, this is Pentacles, and this talks about success based off of past work. This is talking, now it's the In-Between Tarot, which I point that out because this deck does pull elements in from the card following it. You see what I mean? This one's the 3, and then there's the 4. The in-between says what's in between the 3 and the 4, and let me pull it into this card. Do you see? So the 3 of Coins talks about success based off of past work, which is what I already described, but it also partners up with our 4 of Coins. The 4 of Coins talks about holding back. If this person is somebody you've already connected with, in terms of building a relationship, they're still holding back. They're not ready to kind of put themselves out there. They're not wanting, it's not, I know what I'm trying to say. It's not only that they're ignoring you by not responding or not reaching out, they're ignoring the situation. Does that make sense? So it's not just, ooh, I don't want to talk to you. It's, I'm ignoring this whole thing. I'm just not going to deal with it. And that's what this Three of Coins says. I love the in-between tarot because it pulls so much more in. It gets you a lot deeper. Super cool. But anyway, back to this. So I think they're literally just ignoring the situation because they are not so feeling so confident that you're even really into them, maybe, or that maybe, I'm not saying you're dishonest, but maybe they don't believe you or feel that, you know, they're getting the vibe from you that means you're not interested. They're protecting themselves. They're ignoring the situation because they don't want to deal with it. Now, if you're in a reconciliation stage in your relationship, that makes total sense. If you are a new, you know, looking for a new thing, and maybe you guys started talking and then all of a sudden they kind of fell off, it's because they either one of two things. They don't think you're too invested. They're not feeling that spark, you know, that, okay, we're both into each other kind of, or you're into me kind of thing. Or they're feeling this kind of like it's a mutual thing. Like I think they don't realize that it's hurting your feelings. They kind of feel like, all right, I'm just ignoring that situation because I don't know how to deal with it yet. I don't know that this person's into me, and I'm happy just to kind of go along my merry way by myself. We got the Hermit, and, you know, just see how it plays out. I'm not going to let my feelings get hurt. I am not going to make moves ahead of their time, meaning I'm not going to jump into something before I feel confident or comfortable or, you know, knowing. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. We're going to look at another card. This is our cut card. This is the energy of the outcome in the middle of the deck. Ready? Go. All right. What have we got? We have our Page of Coins. Okay. Pentacles again. All right. So, you know, Pentacles is the suit of everyday life, like kind of like your physical world. So, you know, work, home, career, health, you know, that kind of thing. It also includes time. This sounds like somebody who's really kind of being careful with their time. They might not want to be giving you a false impression. I don't think it's that they don't like you per se, but I feel like they're not ready to take a stand or make a commitment, or, you know, they're not feeling it. They're just not feeling it right now, or they're thinking that you're not feeling it. I don't think it's purposeful to hurt your feelings. I just think that, again, they're not feeling it from you. They're maybe not feeling it themselves. I'm getting the impression, though, that they're not feeling it from you. And they are perfectly fine being alone. And now, you know, what does that mean? Can you reach out to them and let them know that you're into them? I'm not sure. Let's pull one more and see what we can get specifically about what you can do to let them know that you're interested. Okay, let's go. Boom. All right, so the Emperor. All right, so the Emperor talks about being a little bit more forceful, like a need to take a stand. You know, somebody who is not kind of, well, for lack of a better word, bullied, you know, being forced to make decisions or do things based on other people's direction, meaning you should not just let this play out because that's what he or she is doing and determining for you. This is saying to me that you might want to reach out and you might want to explain. Now, this doesn't mean go dump a whole bunch of emotion and be like all needy and emotional sounding. It also doesn't mean go into it like a jerk and be like, hey man, that's rude. You know, I'm not saying that you don't need to say what you need to say and put things right and stand up for yourself. But at the same time, I think the reasoning behind the ignoring and the no contact is, again, just not seeing that push, you know, that, you know, either A, that you are interested, or B, to push this person to realize, hey, I am interested. It's like pushing it past that ceiling. Does that make sense? Like blow it out by being the Emperor. Tell this person how you feel. and do it in a way, use psychology. You don't want to just dump a bunch of emotions. That's going to scare somebody away or make them shut down. This person has the tendency to say, I'm all right by myself. I'm all right by myself. So any kind of emotional pressure is going to require or create the opposite reaction. So this talks about, wanting to make it clear your intentions in a way that's creative. Don't be an emotional dump or, stuff like that. But perhaps reaching out and letting them know, making that step. Now, of course, I want you to use your best judgment as always. You know you, and you know this person, and you have common sense. So use your best judgment. But the cards are suggesting that you might want to reach out to let this person know that you are in fact interested, or at least to validate your interests, to make sure that they understand. Ooh, pile 2. Well, I hope this was helpful. Please let me know. Drop a comment. I'm always so curious to see how things play out for people. I'd love to hear from you. And of course, if you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead and hit subscribe. Never want you to miss out. And also, it really helps me out. So thank you so much. And thank you for letting me read for you. Pile number 3. All right, pile 3. Let us see what you've got. Why are they ignoring you? Okay, so let's see what we've got. This card here serves as my energy card. This is the strongest energy the tarot picks up on regarding your question, and it does apply to each of our cards, so it has the potential to affect the meaning of these. Our energy here is Queen of Cups energy. This tells me that one of the reasons they are potentially ignoring you is they might think you are too emotional. The Queen of Cups is somebody, this is Cups, so let's say that right away. Cups is love and emotion. So the Queen, being the Queen, she has a real hold on that, emotional kind of balance. Now, I just said that she's emotional. So how is that balanced? That makes no sense, right? Okay. Well, the Queen of Cups is very much in tune with other people, wanting to make sure other people are happy, wanting to make sure they are emotionally even. If you are a Libra, this would make a lot of sense to you, because this is very much reminds me of a Libra personality. But anyway, the emotional ability you have to kind of make other people feel good, you often do not apply to yourself. So you get emotional. At least this is what the card is saying. And if you don't feel that that's the way you are, this is how they are perceiving you. Okay, so they perceive you as maybe a little emotional, perhaps a little needy. Not sure, what you may or may not have said that you can think, oh yeah, I see why. Or if you're not real thinking about it, maybe this will help you kind of realize or pinpoint or pull back and calm some of those emotions. Now, we are emotional beings, of course, so we have emotions. It's not that we can't or don't, or can't express them, but sometimes it's all about how we express them, and so that's something maybe to take a look at. But this is coming through strong, being our energy card. The other thing that makes it very strong is next, we have our King of Swords. Guess what our King of Swords is doing? He is pulling back his emotions. This king is very much a logical person. This is somebody who is not emotional, does not make emotional decisions, is very analytical type of person. So what this is saying is this kind of clashes, right? You've got your emotional type of person who that can be used for good, that can be used for, well, I don't mean be used, but it sometimes can be good and sometimes can be a little bit of a heavy load to carry, right? And then we've got our King of Swords, which is the exact opposite, pulling back that emotion, right? Okay, so next we have our Page of Swords. This talks about a need for new ways of communicating. This is exactly what is going on. I know exactly how you feel. You're not being responded to in some way. You know, if you're in a relationship, you're not getting the communication. They're not saying something or talking to you. If it's a new person and potentially you thought, hey man, this is going great, and then all of a sudden they're not. Again, I believe that's because of the emotional discord here. We've got unemotional and emotional, right? This would likely be you and this would likely be them, right? And this is calling for a time to communicate differently. You know, take a look at what you've been doing or what you've been saying. Are you coming off needy? Maybe, not sure. If you feel like, nope, maybe it's just not a good match. If you're feeling like either yes or no about your, you know, whether you're being needy or not, this looks to be easily resolved with some communication. Now, you're being ignored, so you're not getting communication from the other side. So this implies that you might want to make the effort. Now, this is our Ace of Wands. This is about a new opportunity to grow. You know, I mean, even just look at the card. I mean, we've got this fist popping up with that wand going, yes. I mean, I've got, you know, it's not swords. A lot of times swords, they're wearing armor. That's because they're protected, and that's what it's there to represent. This is the steampunk tarot, so they've used, it kind of looks like that bronze kind of pseudo armor, right? Well, the reason I mention is it makes me feel like that armor helps to reflect or protect against that emotional overwhelmment that you might be feeling. Maybe you're just an emotional person. That's fine. I mean, I'm an emotional person myself. It's about how you deal with it. So for one, you are having, you know, relationships with people where it's harmonious, but also for your own well-being. You know, if you're walking around always upset and everything like that, that's not good for you either. And this is something that I work on all the time myself. So what I'm saying though is put your armor on. Not saying ignore your emotions or that they're not valid or anything like that. I'm not saying that at all. But for this initial phase of trying to get back into communication, it's take the emotion out of it. Take the emotion out. This person that you're dealing with is either just in general an unemotional person, or regarding this situation, feeling like I'm not going to express my emotions. I'm pulling back. Do you see? All right. So let's look at our cut card. This is the middle of the deck, and this is the energy of the outcome. Ready? Go. All right. So we have the moon. Okay. So why are they ignoring you? This is our final outcome energy, and we've got the moon card. The moon talks about not giving in to kind of emotional pressure. Now, emotional pressure can come from other people, obviously pressuring you. Now, our unemotional person, are they, with not necessarily their words, but with their actions? Is that being interpreted as pressure from you, since you potentially are an emotional type of person? Maybe you have your emotional radar picks up on things a lot more easily than other people, things like that. Is that kind of why you're feeling a little bit of the pressure? You need to resolve that and not feel. Don't create your own pressure where there is none. That's the way to say it. It's how you interpret things is different for all of us. Of course, it's different with our state of mind in a given situation. Our brain is like an interpreter, and it's affected by all the other things that are going on in our brain, like our emotions, right? This is saying, again, really strong coming through, that you need to pull back your emotions. Pulling back your emotions is going to be the key. You are either coming off as maybe needy or just overly emotional, and this person is not feeling it. They are not liking that. However, I want to point it out, you have this opportunity for new ways of communicating that will hopefully smooth this over, make it go away, right? New ways of communicating. And this card here suggests that you taking a stand And by taking a stand, I don't mean like standing on the top of a cliff in your armor. Nah, this is my, I'm taking a stand. I don't mean that. But by you taking a stand, meaning I've got my armor on, my emotions, I'm going to come in and I'm going to say, hey, I'm really wishing I could spend some time with you and I didn't hear from you. Or what's going on? Do you have time this weekend? Again, trying to not be an emotional type of statement, not emotionally blackmailing that person. They're really got their interpreter on, their translator on, feeling that you're being overly emotional. The emotions are kind of making this person feel like I'm not going to participate. I'm pulling back. But with some new communication, that can be smoothed over. It's not what we say, it's how we say it. Do you see? And this is what the moon is saying. The moon is saying that phases come and phases go, just like the moon, right? This is also talking about being led through. The moon is pulling you through. Now, look, if you can't see yourself, obviously, you're standing here walking on this path. There's this crazy looking crab there. There's dogs barking and these cliffs, and it's like, rah. But the moon is pulling you through, showing you the way, right? I feel like you're just having an emotional time with this right now. I don't blame you either. It's hard when somebody's ignoring you and you don't know what's going on. So I'm not at all emotion shaming you. I'm not. But what I'm saying is make sure that you find a new way to communicate. It might be you reaching out. Pull back those emotions. This person is really seeing you as overly emotional, which could, lend itself to feeling like you're needy or, the wishy-washy, that kind of a thing, or just, overbearing, like, So, finding a new way to communicate, you might be wanting to reach out, and that might be what pops the bubble. You see? Ooh, pile 3. Let me know. Drop a comment. I would love to hear what you think about this. Does this make sense? Can you apply it already into your life? Let me know. And of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to hit subscribe. I never want you to miss out, but also it really helps me out, so I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for letting me read for you.